Of course, Fanny is first, as in BFB, although she contributed slightly to the arc between Bubble and Match, she didn't really contribute much to anything else, and was only known for her hateful nature, nearly getting eliminated because of it in episode 1. But when I say she got a glow up in TPOT, starting off mostly normal and being a background character on Death Pact again, but then TPOT 7 rolled around and Lightning got eliminated. Why do we have to vote out all the good contestants? Anyways, this was when the arc between Fanny and Black Hole began. The arc gave Fanny some much needed development, making her stick by the ideal that the team should actually try to win instead of getting wiped out. And now, people are hyper fans of Fanny, believing she'll win the whole show, whereas before she was almost the first boot, being in the bottom 2. Speaking of the bottom 2, next up we have Snowball, who narrowly escaped the bottom 2 in BFB 12, and is now one of the most loved contestants in TPOT, which started in the second episode, when he complimented Grassy before slowly going a bond with him. Snowball became nicer in the process and influenced Grassy to be stronger, improving his screen time as well. Meanwhile, in BFB, he was very similar to his BFDI counterpart, being much meaner to people, and being a driving force in the arc between Bubble and Match, but on the opposite side as Fanny. This improvement in TPOT is substantial. Next up is Gady, who became a lot more recognizable when TPOT began. Gady played a big role in the Taco book arc in BFB, being the person to finally snap Book out of her toxic ways, but was overshadowed by the other episodes where the drama took up all of the team's screen time. In TPOT, however, although the team is seen as quite boring, they're free from any drama. This means that every contestant has a good amount of screen time, including Gady, who is growing a close friendship with the host too. A friendship that can lead to unique moments no other contestant can have. Finally, they're also very understanding now, being nice to Barfbag after the outbreak and Donut after he lost his limbs, which is a lot better than his more snarky BFB counterpart. Eraser is another character to be benefited from an arc, as in BFB, Eraser was mostly there as a comedy character, with his jokes relating to Forest Challenge announcement or climbing Belle's string. Although his conversations with the boys became dumbed down, his new relationship with Teardrop made up for that, having a fun rivalry between them and allowing him to grow as a person with more sympathy towards others. For an example, in TPOT 2, he had gone around ruining teams' progress and laughing at them while getting angry, but in TPOT 8, he was trying to help Teardrop after they got sick from Barfbag's vomit, showing his more remorseful side developing. Ice Cube is the next person on the list, who, as of TPOT 5, got new voice lines, but this small change would be small compared to what happened next. In BFB, Ice Cube didn't really have a satisfying personality outside of vengefulness, just kind of being there. But now in both TPOT and modern BFDIA, Ice Cube has become a very intelligent contestant, coming up with ideas like freezing the lake in TPOT 5 before being constantly sacrificed and losing her limbs by her own team member. However, in BFDIA, she was the one to point out the problem with Fiery and Gelatin before they lost, and made the idea that caused Free Smart coming in first place, which is significantly better than the background character she was before. Next is TV, who for a while didn't talk at all, instead using different videos to convey things before switching to stitch together clips from older seasons, and now having an entirely new voice, similar to announcer and remote. As of late, not only has he become good friends with Tennis Ball and Pen, beginning an arc with them ignoring the friends on their team, Eraser and Golf Ball, but also now has a mechanical mind alliance of sorts with Robot Flower, something that could help her return to normal perhaps, which makes me enjoy them much more than the irrelevant version from BFB and BFDIA. Finally, we have Cake, who started off as a loser-obsessed fanboy, and although I did enjoy this version of Cake, towards the end it started to get pretty annoying. I have no doubts that if the loser were up again, Cake would have gotten eliminated. However, in TPOT, Cake really started to grow as a character, being able to separate from Loser and become really close with his team, whereas before he argued with them. He even expressed it in his elimination when he showed gratitude to his team for letting him move past his idol. That's the end of the video, so you can leave now. Go. Get out. And subscribe while you're at